Welcome back, Culers. The summer transfer window is heating up, and Barcelona is right in the middle of the action. From Ferran Torres threatening Lewandowski's starting spot, to Dro Fernandez's rise, Araujo's possible departure, and Lovro Chelé's bold ambitions, there's drama, excitement, and massive changes brewing at Camp Nou. We've got updates on contract renewals that will reshape Barca's future. Financial fair play moves to allow new signings. La Masia's newest stars making headlines. Oriol Romeu's imminent departure. And Tottenham's push to sign Ronald Araújo. Grab your seat. This is your full Barcelona news breakdown. It is not easy for any player at FC Barcelona to retain a starting spot. With many players eager to make an impact and secure their place, competition remains fierce. Fortunately, this benefits Barcelona and aligns well with their ambitions. Robert Lewandowski may still be the go-to striker for Barcelona, but his place in the starting 11 is no longer guaranteed. In the recent friendly against FC Seoul, the Polish star led the line, yet all eyes were on Ferran Torres, who is now emerging as a serious challenger. Torres has been pushing hard this preseason, showing energy, sharpness, and an eye for goal. With his versatility and growing confidence under Hansi Flick, the Spaniard is making a strong case to become a regular starter. As competition heats up, Lewandowski could soon find himself fighting to retain his spot in Barca's evolving attack. As highlighted by Sport, 25-year-old Spanish forward Ferran Torres is in his prime and pushing hard for the starting role. His performances last season were outstanding, and he is no longer being linked with an exit, which is entirely justified. With 2 goals against FC Seoul and a mentality that continues to drive him forward, Ferran Torres is a real threat to Lewandowski's undisputed starter role. Physically at his peak and also able to make the most out of any opportunities that come his way, Torres has a lot to offer to the team. Proven on the big stage, Aaron is no stranger to delivering when it matters most. Under Hansi Flick, he was trusted with a starting role in last season's Copa del Rey due to Lewandowski's injury and repaid that faith in emphatic fashion. He finished the tournament as top scorer with 6 goals, including a stunning hat-trick against Valencia, the decisive winner versus Atletico Madrid, and a dramatic last-gasp equalizer in the final against Real Madrid that forced extra time. Barcelona eventually lifted the trophy, thanks largely to Ferran's heroics. World Cup motivation could elevate Torres further. Moreover, with the 2026 FIFA World Cup coming up, Torres has a good chance to have a prominent role. With 21 goals and 49 appearances, the Barcelona forward has shown that he can thrive on the international stage as well with those outstanding statistics. Gavi has tipped Dro Fernandez to be the next La Masia graduate to break into the first team at Barcelona. Dro has already made an impression on the club's preseason tour of the United States, scoring on his debut, after getting the call to join the senior squad. Gavi has now been asked which player he thinks will be the next to make the jump up to the first team and is in no doubt at all. Dro. I hope he goes up. He's an incredible talent in person, he told AS. A very good kid. I give him a lot of advice because ultimately he's my protege there. I always try to help him with everything and I hope he continues like this, with the mentality he has and that he gives his all in training. It's important because the manager sees him. Dro did not feature last time out against FC Seoul, as Gavi led the side to a 7-3 win, but will be hoping to feature on their final game of the tour on Monday against Tegu. The renewals that FC Barcelona are planning and have sorted out can greatly help the club. Primarily, they help extend the stay of some very important players. Beyond that, however, they can help out the Catalans financially as well. After all, the club is more than eager to renew several players for a good reason. A particular La Liga rule seems to be the main catalyst behind it, as renewing players can help extend the amortization period relevant to them as well. La Liga rule allows amortization benefits through renewals. As confirmed by Sport, Article 94.6 of La Liga enables clubs to extend the period of amortization for any player as per the extended time of their renewal. This will help in cases such as those of Rafinha and Jules Koundé, with their respective examples being quite relevant. For instance, prior to Rafinha's renewal until 2028, his contract was valid until 2027. This meant that Barcelona had to account for the pending €23.2 million transfer fee for him over the course of 2 years at €11.6 million annually. However, thanks to the extension of another year, that amount has been reduced to €7.73 million annually. Renewals boost financial fair play margin for Barcelona. Barcelona are taking a smart financial step with Jules Koundé's expected contract renewal until 2030. By extending his deal, the club can spread out the remaining €20 million in amortization over 5 years instead of 2, dropping the annual cost from €10 million to just €4 million. This move gives Barca an additional €9.87 million in fair play margin, which could be key to registering new signings like Joan Garcia. Meanwhile, in the transfer market, Real Oviedo have reportedly entered the race to sign Oriol Romeu, as per La Nueva España via Mundo Deportivo. The newly promoted La Liga side sees Romeu as a valuable addition due to his top-flight experience and leadership. Until recently, a return to Girona looked most likely for Romeu. Talks suggested he was close to joining them for a third stint. However, Girona had 2 clear conditions. The veteran midfielder must terminate the final year of his Barcelona contract and significantly lower his wages. Now with Real Oviedo joining the race, Romeu's future is wide open, and a decision is expected soon. However, Girona's sporting director, Quique Carcel, has reportedly placed 2 key conditions. The first is that the midfielder must terminate the final year of his contract at Barcelona, and second, he must significantly reduce his wages. Real Oviedo's vision for Romeu. Now, however, Real Oviedo have entered the fray. The La Liga club are also unwilling to pay a transfer fee and, like Girona, would only consider bringing Romeu in as a free agent. With both clubs demanding a similar financial structure, the decision may ultimately rest with the player himself and his willingness to accept a reduced salary. Romeu is not part of Barcelona's squad for the recent pre-season tour of Asia, a clear indication that the club has no plans for him moving forward. The 33-year-old is actively working to resolve his future, and with 2 La Liga clubs expressing interest, a resolution seems close. While Girona offers a familiar environment, Real Oviedo could present an exciting new challenge. With both clubs pushing for a deal, Romeu's departure from Barcelona looks inevitable. The coming days are expected to be decisive as he weighs his options and prepares for the next chapter of his career in Spanish football. Lovro Chelé is already eyeing a spot in the first team after making the switch to Barcelona this summer from NK Castilla. The teenager is set to start the season with Juvenil A and has made no secret of his ambitions after arriving in Catalonia. With great coaches at La Masia, I can make a lot of progress. I really hope to take a big step forward. I have a big goal, to play with Barcelona's first team, he told Sportsk. Maybe I seem too ambitious right now because I know that the competition at that level is terrible. But I must have a very high goal, because only a clear vision and ambition are the true guide to progress. I'm excited. I really want to show everything I can on the pitch. And yes, I am overflowing with joy. It's the feeling that has been with me since I arrived here. You see, I always dreamed, secretly, of making it to a big European club. But when I found out that Barcelona wanted to sign me on a long-term contract, I was very surprised. And I felt immensely happy. Chelé also spoke about his preferred positions on the pitch and shared his first impressions of training with Barcelona. I like to play as a midfielder and as a right winger. Regardless of which of those 2 positions the coach puts me in, I know I'll play well. I can assure you that in every training session, in every game, regardless of the category in which I play, I give my best, he added. In the first training session I had the impression that the game in Croatia was more intense and aggressive, with much more physical strength. But then I saw in the second practice that it was impossible to evaluate. Because here in Barcelona there are practically no duels in training. You can't go into a duel when the ball is just moving, you just can't get to it. Barcelona are said to have beaten off competition from plenty of other clubs for Chelé, and it will be interesting to see how he progresses this season. Barcelona defender Ronald Araújo has been linked with a move away from the Spanish club, and Tottenham Hotspur have been mentioned as a potential destination. According to Fischages, Tottenham Hotspur are currently the most determined club in the race to sign Uruguayan defender Ronald Araújo. They're actively working on strengthening their backline and have already taken the first steps to explore a possible deal. Meanwhile, Premier League rivals Manchester United and Chelsea are also closely monitoring the situation. Both clubs are reportedly interested in Araújo and could challenge Spurs if Barcelona open the door to negotiations. Barcelona ready to sell Araújo. Barcelona are prepared to sell the player if a compelling offer is presented, and Tottenham are aware that it will not be an easy deal to get across the line. Tottenham will have to put a serious offer on the table if they want to land Ronald Araújo this summer. Barcelona won't let him go cheaply, and previous reports suggest his price tag could be around €50 million. Araújo has proven himself in La Liga as one of the top defenders. He's physically strong, technically sharp, and reads the game well. All traits that would make him a solid fit for the Premier League. While his main role is at center back, his ability to cover at fullback adds even more value. Not only is he strong defensively, but he's also excellent in possession. His calmness and accurate distribution from the back could really help a team like Spurs, who want to build attacks from defense. Barcelona legend Carles Puyol once called him extraordinary, and it's not hard to see why. For Tottenham, adding a player like Araújo could be a game-changer at the back. Tottenham looked quite vulnerable at the back last season, and they need to improve in that area of the pitch. Signing another defender could prove to be a wise decision. The South American is at the peak of his career, and he could make an instant impact in the Premier League. They have an ambitious project and they could be a good fit for the player. It will be interesting to see if they follow up on their interest with an official proposal for Barcelona. That's a wrap on today's explosive Barcelona update. From Ferran Torres' Copa del Rey heroics to financial tricks helping FFP, and rising stars like Dro Fernandez and Lovro Chelé chasing their dreams, it's clear that this new era at Camp Nou is full of ambition, transition, and talent. Will Araújo leave? Will Ferran dethrone Lewandowski? Can Romeu finally make his move? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more Barca updates every single week.